At Headlight Revolution, we have done a ton of Jeep JL Wrangler testing when it comes to headlights. And if you just picked one of these up, or maybe you've been driving it for a couple months, chances are you already know the factory headlights are terrible. In this video, I'm going to show you guys one of the best bulb upgrades you can do on your Jeep. I'm going to show you how you can get it all done in less than 5 minutes. So let's get started. Now there's a few different ways you can take your Jeep apart to do this install. The way I'm going to show you is the least involved when it comes to fasteners. You can pull the grille and remove the headlights. There's 3 bolts per headlight, 6 total bolts, plus 6 total clip fasteners to pull the grille itself. That is one way of doing it. The way I'm going to show you is just pulling the air box on this side. You can actually reach the driver's side without taking anything apart to change that bulb out. I'm going to show you guys the harder side first. Passenger side, and that involves removing this 10mm bolt right here and loosening this hose clamp. You do those two things, this thing's going to pop out. You can reach behind the headlight and change the bulb out. First thing I'm going to do is remove this 10mm bolt. Loosen up the hose clamp. Slide it off the airbox. At this point we can go ahead and lift the airbox out of the Jeep. Pops out just like that. And we're going to set it off to the side. Now the dust cover we're working with is right here. Go ahead and twist it counterclockwise. It's going to pop off the vehicle just like that. Set it off to the side. We will be reusing it. Go ahead and unplug the factory wiring from the H13 bulb. And finally twist the stock bulb out and remove it from the vehicle. Now, here's a little side-by-side of the original H13 bulb that came in your Jeep Wrangler from the factory compared to the S-V.4 H13 bulb that we will be installing today. As you can see, while this bulb is significantly brighter than stock, size-wise it's very similar, and that is so important when it comes to this particular vehicle and these particular headlights. On a Jeep Wrangler, it is paramount that we install the dust cover back on this thing when we're done with it. A lot of the Jeep forum suggested LED bulbs that I've seen personally when we were doing research on this vehicle and what bulbs we should install. Some guys are modifying the original dust cover, some people are drilling holes in them, some people don't even put them back on. You cannot do that. Maybe if your Jeep just lives on the highway all its life, but even then I've seen debris get in vehicles that live in a city. And if you take it down any kind of gravel roads or any sort of off-roading like we've done with this one, you will find quickly that you get stuff in your headlights. That is not what you want. Thankfully, with the S-V.4 bulb, you can install it along with its driver, along with the GTR lighting PWM module that you will need for this vehicle, and get the dust cover back on. It's a win across the board. You cannot get that with just about any other bulb on the market today. Now, I know I just mentioned the GTR lighting PWM module, but let me tell you a little bit about it. It plugs in just like this, and what it does is it prevents this Jeep from doing any kind of flickering or strobing. If you've done any research on these things, you're going to find that a lot of bulbs do not like to work with Mopar vehicles today. The way their circuitry is designed, the way that their computer system checks the voltages across all of these platforms, it does not like LED bulbs that are simply plug and play. More often than not, you need a PWM module like this one. And this one's one of the only ones that'll fit inside the headlight with that dust cover. Now there is a trick to getting all this to fit inside the headlight. Starting with the PWM module, install it to the upper 1 o'clock position of the headlight. I've got that driver installed right up here. Take the LED bulb driver itself and do the same thing. There is room for both of them up there. It is tight, I will warn you, but it does fit. Finally, take your S-V.4 bulb, insert it in the original headlight housing opening, lock it in place just like that. Tuck any remaining wiring into the headlight housing, and finally reinstall your dust cover. Now with the dust cover reinstalled, we can put the airbox back together on this side and head over to the passenger side. Now I'm going to do that side off camera. You can actually access that without even taking anything apart over there. I love that. And so we've successfully done this install without pulling the grill, without doing anything like that. Let's get that other side done. We're going to pull this in our studio, shoot it against the wall, compare the stock bulbs to the S-V.4 bulbs, and show you guys exactly why you should even do this in the first place. So we've got our Jeep JL Wrangler pulled in the studio right now, and this sight's gonna look a little familiar to you. This is the Jeep JL low beam at about 20 feet. And this came in at 1000 lux. Lux is our most reliable form of measurement when it comes to telling you exactly how bright a headlight is. Lumens simply does not tell enough about the light and where it's placed on the road. 1000 lux is actually pretty good for an H13 dual beam bulb in a Jeep Wrangler. These are oftentimes kind of an odd beam pattern, and in this case it's pretty clean. It's got a nice cutoff line. The beautiful part about that is our S-V.4 bulbs should only brighten it up. We don't want to see any additional glare. We don't want to see any weird spots appear above the cutoff line. So let's see what the S-V.4 bulbs look like. Now the S-V.4 bulbs came in at 3070 lux. Compared to the original number, which was 1000 lux, that is an awesome upgrade over stock. As you can see, we've got a nice bright white light output down there. And more importantly, we don't have any glare above the cutoff. We're not going to be blinding oncoming traffic. We're not going to be hitting oncoming traffic in the eyes in any way. This looks great. We've brightened up our Jeep and done it in a safe manner. Now, let's take a look at our high beam. Now, our Jeep JL factory high beam came in at 1130 lux, and all it really does is it just adds a little light above the cutoff line. As you can see, we're going to illuminate some stuff down the road, but let's see what the SV4s can do for our high beam. Now the SV4 came in at 3800 lux, 3800. Compared to 1130, that's an awesome improvement over stock. If you're bombing down the trails at night or just on a dark gravel road in the middle of nowhere, you hit the high beam switch, this is actually gonna help you drive at night. Fantastic upgrade, SV4s, I'd highly recommend them. As you can see, those SV4 bulbs are one of the brightest options in the market today. Before and after against the wall looked fantastic, and if you need anything else for your Jeep JL Wrangler, we've got a ton of videos on this thing. We've been playing with this Jeep since we bought it. We got one of the first ones to hit our local dealership. We got the Vision X pods on the cowl mounts. We've got the Diode Dynamics bar down low. Fantastic bang for the buck, both of those upgrades, and we've got videos on how to install them. Check them out. Check out our channel, Headlight Revolution, and be sure to hit the website, headlightrevolution.com. Thanks for watching.